Many miles I've roamed, wheels turning on that one lane. Last year's boots, broken souls, chasing one thing. Caught up in the storm of life, it gets me excited. I guess you could say that I'm chasing white lightning. Chasing white lightning. Chasing white lightning. I'm chasing white lightning.
Hey guys, welcome back to Rune Outdoors. Today we're going to go over my gear for scouting out new hunting spots. So the first thing that we're going to need is a nice belt. Hold up your pants. I have a slightly camo belt. Give me a little more breakup when I need it. And then something that's really important is your clothing choice, as you can see. So my first choice of pants is these nice field pants. They are burless. That's why they have this tan piece at the bottom. And that is an anti-burr material so that you can't pick up stickers and other things like that. These are nice to wear, super comfortable. They're a little heavy though. Not great for water resistance on days that I want to go with a little more breakup or a little more water resistance. I'll wear these. These are actually what I also wear for bow hunting. Nice pants to have. These are Mountain Prairie. They're using the Shapeshift camo. It's not a traditional camo, it's more of a digital camo, which gives you more breakup in more scenarios. Then we're going to look at jacket or outer layer preference. I have the matching Mountain Prairie jacket. It is a full zip with a pocket on both sides of the chest, as well as zip up pockets towards the stomach region. And also has decent water resistance. But if it's really coming down, I'll wear this Under Armour hoodie. Not as good of a breakup camo in as many situations, but it does the job and it's comfortable and warm. Now that we have the outer layers out of the way, with all that, we're going to talk about underlayer shirts. So I have two right here. This is a Mossy Oak, and this is a Muddy Water. These are nice camos, and they are also very comfortable shirts, especially when it is raining or misting out. Just for the fact that it helps keep your sweat and some of the water off of you. On days when you need something a little bit warmer, I'll go to this Cotton Blend long sleeve, and all of my undershirts are going to be long sleeves, but I'll also generally wear a black or camo t-shirt under these. Now we're going to get into gear, and the first piece of gear you really need is a good pair of boots. I use the Lacrosse 800 Thin Slit layer boots. They've done me well so far. They're waterproof up to my calf. They fit extremely nicely. And they're comfortable to walk in for long durations. After your boots, you're going to look at a scout pack. Now, I use the Fieldline Pro Series. I call this their Scout Pack because if you look at it, I can carry everything I need and not much of what I don't. And it's just really nice for scouting. I also use it for bow and gun hunting, but very comfortable pack, especially when you're hiking. It has a built-in belt, and that clips this nice little tool on. It's a whistle, a not as great compass, but general direction, and a thermometer, so you can tell what your temperatures are. Another big piece of gear is a nice optic. Now, whether this be binos, mono, or what I have are binos, the 8x21 by 6.3 Buckmaster Edition. These are extremely nice binos by Nikon with a very comfortable neck strap. And then another thing, and I generally wear this on my belt, is a nice knife. This one also comes with a flint. But just a nice knife in the case of having to clear anything or what have you. This one is a 3rd serrated, so I can use it for cutting branches in a quick pinch or small brush. I re-wrapped the paracord on this for orange paracord so I can't lose it. And just a nice quick handy knife made by Ozark Trail. Cheap knife, but does the job in a pinch and is relatively waterproof, which is very important when you scout like I do, which is generally in the rain. And the reason you scout in the rain is you don't leave as much of a trail. There's advantages to doing this and other disadvantages, but for me, the advantages outweigh the cons. Now, jumping into the pack a little bit more, we're going to look at the big pocket. This is hard to do with one hand, as I'm not quite used to it yet. Now, first thing that we're going to pull out is my headwear. So, first thing we're going to look at is my face shield. So this is one of the face shields made by, if I can get it, SA Fishing Co. This is the Arctic Mossy Oak, and it has a nice camo pattern, and the white isn't too prominent, just to break up your outline a little bit more. And then other headwear, I have a 13 Fishing hat, regular baseball cap. Generally more comfortable, and if you're exercising or trekking more, it's gonna be a little less warm. But when it starts to get cold, or I need some more rain protection, or someone else forgot a hat, I have my Huntworth stocking cap, or beanie, whatever you'd like to call it. Very comfortable, warm enough when you need it, and just all around light to carry. Looking back at the pack, that's all I have in my main compartment right now, but you'll also carry snacks and extra water if you carry more than 2 bottles. And there's really a lot of other stuff you can carry depending on where you're scouting and what you're doing. And then the small pouch. Bear with me as, like I said, I'm doing this alone today. So my small pouch. It is packed pretty much to what I like to call the limit. I've got a flashlight, and that's more so of a backup because I usually carry my headlamp with me. I've got trail markers, quick and easy. I've got a pocket saw made by Camulus. Nice, quick, and light. Put that back. I've got some orange marking tape, also for marking trails. And that's very important. That's toilet paper. Never leave home without that to scout. And then I've got my grunt call. This is nice because I can take the tube off and it fits nicely into my pack. Now there's other equipment you might bring with you, depending on the scouting. If you would be scouting at night, hopefully you're bringing some type of nighttime optic, like night vision, which is getting relatively cheaper than what it used to. But this is the main thing I carry every time I go out. I generally carry 2 waters on my pack, as long as a Powerade in the big pouch, which is one of the other reasons that there's so much empty space. The trick to that is you take the wrappers off to minimize noise. That is very important so you stay hydrated on longer treks, especially when you don't expect them. Another thing that might be nice is if it's cold out, bring a thermos of your choice of warm beverage. Generally I bring apple cider, as it doesn't scare away the deer and sometimes actually attracts them. And another point to really make is when you look at your layering system, make sure it's comfortable. I mean, if you're scouting, at least how I do, you're going to be walking around quite a bit. And in some instances, you might have to sit or lay in your gear for a while. This last season, I actually sat in a field for about half an hour, laying on my chest, watching a nice little herd of deer. That was really fun, and I'm glad I was wearing what I was because I was comfortable doing it. And I never got spotted. We also tracked down a deer after we saw him because we were scouting the area and we wanted to see what we could find. Turned out that we didn't really hunt those areas this year, but that was for other reasons, mainly being busy. But yeah, really take into account what you're scouting. Look on app like there's different map apps. Everyone has a preference. My dad uses Onyx, and that's generally what we look at beforehand. But if you're going to be walking through a lot of tall grass and prairie area or fields, go with something like the Field Pants. They're going to be more comfortable, and you're not going to have to pick all of those stickers out of your camo nice pants. If you don't have a lot of that, the camo pants are definitely lighter, especially when you're walking lots and lots of area, especially through woods and stuff like that. They don't weigh you down, and like I said, they're comfortable. You're not expecting to have to walk through a lot of briars, otherwise you would wear the Field Pants. When it comes down to jackets, once again, I'll actually generally carry both in the truck or vehicle that I'm riding in to go out scouting, as well as keeping extra beverages. But the jacket is definitely lighter, and it's probably warmer too, but it's also easier to pack into my scout pack. Much easier. So on warmer days or wetter days, I'll generally throw that in there. And sometimes I'll even wear my hoodie out and actually end up switching to the jacket because I'm overheating. This hoodie is actually extremely warm. And if you look inside, it's kind of that felt material or woolly material. But really look at it before you go out, because if you're expecting to sweat a lot, well, that's something you don't want because you're leaving unnecessary scent, and you're going to have to wash your clothes again before you can use them. So on warm, humid days, you're going to want to go something lighter, but like I said, if you're trekking through a field, you might want your Field Pants, so that's another consideration. It's trade-offs to everything. And another thing is, you shouldn't really be sweating. You should be able to go at a slower pace. Generally, we take about 5 to 10 steps, and then we'll stop and look. And the reason you do that is it definitely slows you down, stops you from sweating, and you don't miss as much. You realize what you're looking at more because you're taking those breaks to stop and look. But that's about all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you can subscribe and enjoy our future videos. This is Rune Outdoors signing off.
Downtown 65 southbound in the middle of Tennessee. Yeah, I left black marks on every turn, too sharp like